Yeah, I think it's bleached. I don't know, but that's still from the opening. Yeah.
Nice work. That's funny.
How you guys doing? Welcome to my podcast.
Yeah, this is cool, man. Thanks for having us. How are you?
I'm good, man. Like for me, not a lot changed in the situation. I don't know how it's about you guys. I mean, I would be also always at home when I wouldn't.
um, I'm like you. She's not. She likes to go out and do things and experience stuff all the time. So she's had a little bit of a rougher time. But I mean, overall, I'd say we're doing all right.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I mean, my wife is the same. She wants more go to the theater or go out. I like to be at home when I'm honest.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, you know, it sucks not having the gym open.
Yeah. Sorry.
It sucks from a monetary perspective, but honestly, that's the last. I don't want to say that's the last thing I'm thinking about, but I'm sure I speak for her too. I just miss seeing all the people.
Yeah.
Just have the people there, the community that we built, and just not being able to have that every day, kind of sucks. Not gonna lie, but you know we're dealing with that as best we can.
Hopefully, we'll be open again in May. Hopefully.
So a question that I have to you guys is, I mean, obviously you guys are the owner of the gym. Can you guys still train at the gym, right?
Okay. So
I mean, I know you shouldn't say you do it. I get it because it is like hard when other people see you can train and they can't train. It feels always wrong. But at the end of the day, it's your business. It's your gym.
You put it too low.
Yeah. Light shining in a weird way, like washed out.
No, that's fine. I'll close this more. But so okay, so this is how I feel about it, because I've given this a lot of thought. So yes, we train at the gym. It's just us. So it's not like there's a whole group of people following us in there. It's just us. 1. 2, like you said, we own the gym. And 3, because we own the gym, you know, people might be like, oh, you know, oh, you guys are so lucky, you get to train at a gym. Okay, we still have to pay that rent every month. And we still have to pay on the equipment every month. So, you know, to people who might think that, I'm like, okay, I understand. Come pay that bill with us.
It's kind of the same. Have like a gym in the garage, you know, it is your stuff.
Right, same thing. You know, if they have a home gym, they paid for that equipment. They paid to set it up. They probably built it themselves. So they have every right to use that regardless of where the equipment is located. It just so happens that we have it located in a facility that we are calling a gym. So, but it'd be the same thing if we had taken all the equipment out and just put it in a random warehouse somewhere. It'd be the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we're lucky enough to be able to train in our gym, but those bills still have come. They have not stopped. So.
No, I mean, I agree totally. Like last time I was laughing because Regan Grimes posted the video and people were texting, like writing comments, why can you train? That's unfair. Like, I mean, you guys know he's struggling every month to pay the rent, clean the gym, organize everything. Like, that's his work.
Exactly.
You're upset that he can train. I mean, you choose to work in the office. He chooses to have the stress and owns a gym. So are you going in a regular base and say, oh, you're such a poor guy. You need to deal with members, with payments. No.
Yeah.
But now they're coming, but you have it so good, you can train. Like, of course you can train. It's your gym. Like, why you shouldn't train? It would be dumb.
Exactly. And then, you know, as you know, this isn't just about training. This is I know for me, it's more than just, oh, you know, I'm prepping for a show, I need to stay on track or whatever. like with, this is how a lot of us keep our sanity. Really, this is how we deal with real life. This is that hour or two that we spend underneath a bar is the time that we get to completely check out from real life just for a minute, to be completely 100% selfish and focus on ourselves before we, and kind of like recharge, so that we can have that energy to give back to, you know, the people that we care about in the real world. So, but most, unfortunately, we live in a very selfish culture where people don't think like that. They see Regan training in the gym and say, "Oh, you're so lucky," not realizing that he might have a $4,000 or $5,000 rent to pay.
Oh, yeah.
With no members to help him pay it.
Yeah, and the second thing is, like, I love also sometimes when pros have access to gyms, they say, but that's so unfair. This, first of all, even when you have the gym, you are not training. Like, you are at the gym on your phone. These guys do that professional. So his job is to train. That's not a choice of him. Yours
Right.
is the choice. Like, when you can go work in the office, then you go work.
Yep.
And that's his office. He needs to work, because when he's at the Olympia stage, nobody cares if he had a gym or not. So I don't understand why people are like, oh, but he is so lucky he knows a gym owner. But that's his job. Of course he knows the gym owner. The gym owner let him in because that's his job.
Yep.
He's not there to do Instagram posts or tag somebody, oh, I'm at the gym. Like, that's his job.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know that at all.
Oh, okay, great. But so like, yeah, so coming back to your original question, yeah, we train at the gym, but that's also, everything that you just said is the reason why we don't post about it, because we understand how important the gym is, and we don't want to, you know, hold it in people's faces, like, haha, you know, we get to train at a gym, you know, whatever.
Everybody's struggling in their own way during this.
Yeah, that's why I really appreciate you guys, because that's why I'm asking. When I'm honest, I didn't saw any posts of you guys, and I was only wondering. And I said to my wife, I'm sure they train, but they have so much respect and doesn't rub in your face, you know? Like, that's what I say also to professional bodybuilders. Like, I have friends, every day they're posting videos from the gym. Like, I'm honest, I have access to a gym, but would I ever post something? No. Why I should make people jealous or feel bad? I have no reason. So do your work and don't post anything. You know, people don't need to feel bad or sorry, you know?
And we're not training for other people anyway, so there's no real reason to do that, especially now.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 2 points to add to that. I don't know if you would agree with this, but honestly, if I was in off season and wasn't in contest prep for a show, I would have honestly taken like a few weeks off. I wouldn't have trained at all.
I don't know if I would have.
I wouldn't.
I'm honest, I would not. Like, I really need that. I told last time to my friend, I'm lifting since 13 years. I barely did longer than a week break. Like, I don't like it.
That would be the reason why, because I don't take breaks, and like, it's really hard for me to do it. So just, you know, in the air of, you know, internally being respectful about what's happening, and knowing that there are people who the last thing they're worrying about is the gym, and they may have someone that they care about, you know, in the hospital or something, or maybe everyone's completely healthy, but like for example, her grandmother, how old is Mom Joe?
88.
She's 88 years old. We've gone to visit her. The first time she went to visit her, she stayed out, like her grandmother stayed inside the house, and she talked to her from outside the window. Like, that's crappy. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, imagine someone that you love and you're not able to, you know, have physical contact or close contact with them. We as human beings feed off that energy. So there are a lot of people in way worse situations than us. So I think that would be one reason why I wouldn't train. And then, you know, just from a meathead perspective, I don't take breaks. So this would be a perfect opportunity for me to just kind of chill for a minute, recharge, and then, you know, get back at it again.
I'm chilling enough. I'm too chill. like that.
Yeah, she can't stay in the house. See, I'm cool. I could be right here, read my book, play some video games, whatever, just kind of do my thing.
I mean, I can be at home too, but I like to know I did something, The feeling,
sure.
the feeling like I moved something. I like the feeling being sore or tired. I don't like I can do one rest day, maybe 2 rest days, and then I feel like piece of shit. Like I said, why?
I get it. It would definitely. I think you know what? It's funny because I say I would take a week or 2 off. I would probably make it like 3 or 4 days and start getting antsy. So like if I started on Monday, I'd probably make it to like Wednesday or Thursday, and then I'm like, nah, I gotta go. I gotta go to the gym.
You know also why? I am always a person. I don't like to cheat or eat shit food or generally a lot of food when I don't train. And when you're at home, you want to eat. So then you're like in a really bad position. You don't train, but you want to eat. So at least I'll train so I can eat.
That sounds like you.
Well, we brought a piece of cardio equipment home so we can do cardio here too. So at least we have that.
Yeah, just so we don't have to spend as much time going back and forth
to
the gym to do it. It was preemptive. I had one of our friends bring the bike home. I would say a week before they actually issued the order of having the gyms closed because I saw it coming. I'm like, this is definitely going to happen. I want to be prepared in case we can't go to the gym at all. At least we can do something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, everything's okay. We are training. We're both preparing for the Boston Pro Show. It's a pro-am, so she's going to do it as well. So barring any cancellation or postponement, the show is set for June 20th. So that's what we're getting ready for.
Can you put your camera a little bit up?
Oh yeah, somebody.
Not then.
Is that better?
A little, yeah. I think go a little bit better. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask too. But I like to start my podcast always how I met my guests. And do you guys know how I met you guys?
Yes.
You came to our grand opening.
No, I met you guys at my 40. You guys were like training legs.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys, and I think also the other Physique. No, what's her name?
Amanda was there.
Yeah, Amanda. And
Amanda.
I remember because I thought you guys are power lifter.
Yeah.
You were bulky and
You were full on.
You were huge and you guys lifted legs, workout legs, and you lifted insane amounts of weights. And I was asking too, bro, are they power lifter or what are they doing? Like, no, that's bodybuilder. I said, he lifts like a power lifter.
That's funny.
That's how I met you.
That was a long time ago. Wow.
Yeah, that's like beginning 2000, like beginning last year.
Yeah, it was either late 2018 or actually it was late 2018 because that's when Alyssa was there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like December when I started by my December 18.
And then when did you officially? Because where did you move from?
I moved 3 years before from Switzerland to America.
Okay.
So then
you've been a little bit.
Then I lived like 1.5 years in Chicago, but the weather was so bad. So I mean, Chicago is nice, but the weather is so bad. Like it's insane.
Cold. I mean, it's okay in the summer, maybe, but
winter is insane. And then I moved to Vegas, where I met my wife, and then we moved to Florida. First Tampa, and then now St. Pete.
Not too much different between the two, but
I like St. Pete better.
St. Pete is prettier.
Yeah.
I agree with that. That I agree with.
It's always like you're on a vacation. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's a nice area.
Well, I lived up north, like in Connecticut, in Massachusetts, literally my entire life up until 2018. So I've only lived in Florida since February of 2018. So it's pretty much been a vacation for me since then. I don't have to worry about feeling my lungs get frostbite every time I go outside. This is beautiful. And I get to wear a tank top every day, no matter what. I love this place. I'm never leaving.
The weather is nice. Like my family, when they say, well, when I text with them, they have always winter like the whole year. Like, it's insane.
They like winter?
No, they have always winter. Like Switzerland has maybe
Oh,
summer. So when I'm in a tank top, they say, "Why are you in a tank top in January?" I said, "We have 80 degrees." And they say, "Oh no."
that's awesome.
How can I ask you first? I mean, maybe not everybody knows you. How did you become a bodybuilder? How long did it took you? Which show did you won to get your pro card? How like that? You talk a little bit about your career.
So so for me, I started. The short version of the story is I started weight training at 13. I was, anyone that follows me on social media knows this, but I was the skinny nerdy kid in school that got picked on and bullied and beat up all the time. And my dad bought me a gym membership for Christmas when I was 13, and I saw that as my opportunity to change the narrative. And I figured I was either going to get big enough to where people would leave me alone, or I was going to get strong enough to defend myself. That was my initial motivation for getting into the gym in the first place. I had no aspirations of being a bodybuilder. I was very aware of who like what a bodybuilder was, who the top guys were at the time. But I had no desire to chase that as a goal at all. Fast forward to 2014, I actually joined inadvertently. I didn't know it was a bodybuilding gym, but I joined, I had been a member of like a health club type of gym, and I was at like 175, 180 pounds. I was the guy. Like I was the strongest guy in the gym. And I was like, okay, I'm hitting my ceiling here. Like what's the next step? Like, where do I go from here? Is this like the most I can achieve and that's it? Well, so Buddy told me about a powerhouse gym in New Haven, Connecticut. That's where I was living at. I was living in Connecticut at the time. I go and join. And do you know who Evan Setapani is?
Yeah, of course. He won't do his comeback this year. It's crazy.
Yep. Well, I mean, as long as the shows happen, yeah. He was the very first person I saw when I walked into the gym. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I've never seen anyone, obviously you see the magazines and stuff, but I've never seen someone like that in person. And every single guy that was in the gym that particular night were absolute monsters, like just yoked out of their minds. And I was like, holy shit, like this is it. This is what I was looking for. This is the next step. I joined this gym. I know I'm going to go somewhere. I don't know what's going to happen. And I met the owners, blah, 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 got hooked up with a coach, so on and so forth. And they convinced me to start competing. They said I had good genetics. I didn't know what that meant at the time. I understand what it means now. Did my first show in 2014, April, placed dead last. But I at least saw that I belonged on the stage. I didn't look like a complete idiot. So I was like, okay, I just need to keep working and get better at it and see what happens. Again, pro card or anything like that was not an aspiration for me. It was where will this take me? I was open to the journey, period. 2016, so I've been competing multiple shows for those few years. I won my first overall the next year in 2015. Fast forward to 2016, I won my pro card at MPC Nationals in Miami. I won the light heavyweight class, and that was actually my first try at Nationals. Somehow I managed to one and done it. I don't know how. I busted my ass for that prep. But yeah, so I've been a pro since 2016 of November.
That's nice. Now I know where your nerdy side comes from. The skinny nerd guy.
I haven't changed at all. The only thing that's changed is how much I weigh.
How did you became to bodybuilding? I mean, for a girl, is even like you do figure, right?
No,
Like,
she doesn't. Yes.
Well, I mean, that's for me already bodybuilding. So how did you became to that? I saw you looked complete different like a couple years before. So your transformation is insane too. how did you became to that? I mean, I always have a lot of respect because as a woman, it's very hard in the world to have muscle. You know, people are always like negative. You know, how did you manage that? How did you became to that?
I was always in sports, elementary school, middle school, high school, usually contact sports like football, rugby, swimming, stuff like that. I actually majored in criminology and psychology and got into law enforcement and spent 3 years as a state law enforcement officer, but I was about 135 pounds then and 5'10", so I got pushed around a lot. So I ended up getting into the gym, you know, just to get stronger. So, because I always worked with male offenders and I didn't want to get beat up all the time when I went to work. So I got stronger from doing that and I just fell in love with it from there. I started out competing and I did a couple shows in figure. I did okay in figure, and then one prep I accidentally got too big for figure and I got on stage and they gave me dead last and said, you know, you're not figure, you're just not.
She was so mad.
Yeah. You're like, don't fit figure, you can't do it, it's not you. And I classed up to physique, and then the first physique show I did, I won the overall, and that was it. And I just kept doing women's physique from there.
How do you live with that all the negativity? Like, there's always like people who look weird at you or talk negative. Do you ever feel that or not at all?
I mean, I don't care, that's them. If they want to be like that. I didn't do this by accident. You know, at any point in time over the last 4 years, I could have stopped, but I didn't. This was all on purpose. So if they don't like it, that's more of a reflection of them than me. It's nothing I'm doing is hurting anyone or shouldn't upset anyone unless they're insecure. So that just tells me what kind of person they are. But I get way more support than anything. I really don't run into too much negativity. Like from random online people, you know, I'll get stupid comments, but you'll get that no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what you do, someone's going to critique you. So
I get stupid comments.
Might as well do something you love.
How did you guys met?
Instagram.
She's not lying. So at the time that we met, I was living in Miami. So that's where I moved to. When I moved from up north to Florida, I initially moved to Miami. And I, ironically enough, was following the Flex Appeal Miami page. And they reposted a picture of her training there. And I was like, who the hell is that? I have to know. So I slid in her DMs. And and I didn't say, what I said to her was along the lines of, hey, I'm new to Miami. I follow the Flex Appeal page. I saw them post a picture of you. You look great. Keep it up. End of story. That's all I said. And she replied, and I don't remember the exact reply, but she left the conversation open. Like, you know how like some girls would be like, oh, thanks. And that's it. Like, what do you say to that? Like, that's it. The conversation's over. She replied in a way to let me know that the conversation was still open to continue. Mm-hmm. So I continued the conversation, and we haven't stopped talking since. So I had planned on, I was new to Florida. I didn't know anybody. I moved by myself. I don't have any family here or anything. So there was a bodybuilding show happening in West Palm, the Florida Grand Prix. And I was like, okay, that's the next show that's happening. If I go, that will be a good opportunity for me to just meet people and just make friends and start learning who people are in Florida. And she happened to tell me, she's like, oh, funny enough, I have a client competing in that show. I'm going to be there all weekend. Just come and stay with me. Great. And that was how we met. I think we had been talking for about 2 weeks or so before we actually met in person. And
how long are you guys now together?
2 years.
Yeah. What's today? Today is the 10th. So we, on the 22nd, we will have been together 2 years.
Yeah. We are in June 22nd, 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah. And you guys are married, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. How long were you guys together, like prior to getting married?
3 or 4 months. I mean, when you know, you know. I'm a person, I always know when I want something, and I knew it. And I mean, I met plenty of girls, and I knew when you meet a person, you know it. I mean, it sounds like cheesy, but it is how it is.
Listen, how long were we talking? Like what? A month? Okay, yeah, a month in, she goes, okay, so I'm tired of making this 4-hour drive to Miami. I know a place where you can stay. You're moving in a week, so figure it out. Quit your job, cancel your gym memberships. You're coming. I was like, all right, I guess I'm moving to Tampa. So exactly what I did. I quit my job, canceled all my gym memberships. And luckily my landlords were super nice, and they let me out of the lease, no problem. And I packed up my stuff and I bounced. And I've been in Tampa ever since. That was end of May. End of May is when I moved to Tampa.
We moved in together in September.
Yeah. So I had my spot, she had her spot, and then we ended up moving in together that same year in September.
Now we know who is the boss at home, huh?
All right, calm down. She was just really forward. And I appreciate that, because I'm also really forward, and I had never been in a relationship with somebody prior to her who was as sure of herself and, like you said, what she wanted. She was very clear. This is what I want. This is what I'm willing to do to get it. Great. I respect that. Let's go.
Yeah, and when you would say it's when a man says that, it's weird. When a girl says, you say, okay. It's like when you would say to a girl, you are going to cancel and move to me, it would be weird.
It would be weird. Yeah, that sounds a little
yeah, like a macho.
A little psychopathic.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit.
So that's funny.
But yeah, that's our history in a nutshell, more or less.
How did you guys came to open up the gym? I mean, that's not an easy thing, you know.
I had been talking to the owners of Physique Miami for about a year prior to that. We had wanted to open up a gym together, all three of us. And when I met him, we were still in the process of trying to find a location and like get all the paperwork squared away and get everything figured out. And then when I met him, the time we moved in together was around the time we started signing everything and getting everything forward in motion. So it all just kind of fit for us to do it all together. But it was a long time coming. It took about, I want to say it took a full year to find a location that worked budget-wise, location-wise, that had everything we needed before we could move forward with it. It's a lot. It's not something you just wake up one day and decide you're going to do.
And like when we met, they were already, I believe, a year in, like she said, a year into the process. Then, you know, we started dating. It was obvious that I was going to be around. I met our business partners, Will and Jesus. They really liked me. I liked them. We hit it off. And they voluntarily kind of brought me on to everything. It started out with me just taking part in the search for a facility to have the gym in. And the more that we did together, the more they were just like, you know what? You just need to be a part of this. And it happened organically. So me coming into it, it like I said, just happened organically. There wasn't like a plan in place, and now we run the place together. But she had done a lot of work. They had done a lot of work prior to me ever even coming into the picture.
Yeah, I mean, to open up a gym, that's a big thing. Like, I can remember how many nights you couldn't sleep because you think like you forget something or you have stuff in your mind. Like, it's insane.
It's a lot. It's stressful, but it's worth it for sure.
It was stressful waiting for the equipment. It was stressful building it.
Nothing ever happens the way it's supposed to happen. Nothing.
A lot of money was spent. But it was like seeing what it has become now, 110% worth it. Mm-hmm. And every single step, every single moment of stress, you know, every minute, hour of sleep that we lost over it, 100% worth it. Would do it all over again in a heartbeat.
That's like a child, you know, you wait till he's 18 and like it's so much stress. till he grows, and then but it's worth it, you know. You have
Yep.
like a child to have your own gym, you know. You put all your love in it.
It is. It is.
I was in your gym in the beginning. I saw you guys have also more equipment right now, and I like the atmosphere. I saw you guys support a lot of competitors. Do you guys have also regular clients, like people who don't want to compete, or is it mostly people who are like they want to reach their goals, they want to compete? How is
We
it?
have a mix, but pretty much every client that both of us have is serious about whatever they're doing. Like nobody comes in that gym and just hangs out. Like everyone gets along with everyone, but nobody's in there on their phone or like chit-chatting or laying around. Like everyone, no matter what they're doing, even if it's just wanting to be healthy, they're in there working and they're working towards it. And everyone's very supportive of everyone. We have a lot of competitors. We have a lot of just regular people in there too. I mean, our oldest member is 88 and our youngest is 10.
10.
Your kids boot camp.
I mean, they're not technically members of the gym,
Yeah,
but
they
like
come in there.
I run a kids boot camp on Saturdays. So I work with kids anywhere from ages 10 to 16, and we do an hour fitness boot camp, and then we spend about 20 to 30 minutes after the boot camp. As long as I don't have a client afterwards, we spend 20 to 30 minutes after the boot camp talking about school.
So yeah, we have pretty much everybody in there.
Yeah. So
Are those children from members or from where are those children? Like, are those?
Members, non-members, it's strict. It's just for kids ages 10 to 16. If you bring your child, they can, and they're within the age limit, they can participate. Period. The end.
That's nice.
Yeah. So we cover a very wide spectrum of different people, of different ages, backgrounds. Her clientele base tends to lean more towards a lifestyle people, like you were saying.
I have about 7 competitors right now and about 10 lifestyle clients. So it's about 50-50.
I have mostly competitors. I think I have 2, 3 lifestyle people who are not trying to compete. And then everyone else that I have is a competitor.
I mean, who wants to train like you when he don't compete? I mean, I wouldn't do that either.
There are a couple of people who are crazy like me, who they just like to lift, and I can respect that. Actually respect that more. Someone who can go into the gym and put that kind of effort in without the pressure of like a show deadline or anything like that. They can just go and just work just because they love to work.
That's way harder. That's way harder.
It's way harder, but I appreciate the experience with those people even more so than I do with anybody else.
One, because you know that they're doing it just because they're passionate about it. They're not doing it because, I have to win this show. I have to look good on this Instagram post. They're just doing it because they love it.
That's not to say that if you compete, that's the reason why you do it.
Yeah.
Anyone that I know who is a competitor, who is successful at it and is strong as hell, they train because they love to train. And if bodybuilding competitions and Instagram went away, they would still train and train the exact same way. So I don't just want to put that out there now so that it doesn't get, there isn't a misunderstanding.
No, but I know what you mean. Like,
yes,
in the regular gyms, you have mostly those kind of people. That's why I like the atmosphere when I see videos from the gym. You guys love the gym and give that also to your clients, I don't think somebody would be in your gym when he wouldn't want to be there. Like
right.
In LA Fitness, people, they are there because they think they need to. And that's nobody like that would come in your gym because there's no distraction. It's a warehouse with machines,
Yeah, we don't have a Zumba class. We don't have a Pilates or a spin or anything like that.
You don't have TVs.
It's not that kind of gym.
Nope.
It's a gym.
How many members do you guys have right now?
When we were forced to shut down,
Wow.
man, I think we were 220, 221?
Well, not active.
Oh, yeah. Active members. No, it's more than that.
No, it's like 100.
But I would say generally, it doesn't matter active or not.
I think around 100. We're right around 100.
Yeah, active members. We've had in total active and inactive are over 220. We've had people come and go. We've had people who have moved or whatever. So, but yeah, so we're still in the process of growing. It's definitely a slow process. So for anyone that watches this that wants to open a gym, do not think that you are just going, you're going to open your doors and people are just going to come flooding in and you're going to make all this money and it's going to be great. You have to work at it. You have to build a culture. You have to make sure that people feel welcome and safe and understand why they are there and that they are a part of something, and then continue to do that work, but let it cultivate. Don't try to force it, because that will come across as money hungry, and that will become very evident in the people who are going there, and they won't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
So just little nugget.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a very slow process. Is there any plans for the gym that you guys remodel or?
We have a back room that we're going to turn into a posing room. We were getting ready to start doing things like that, and then all this happened, everything shut down and kind of slowed down. But we have a load-bearing roof back there, back above the bathrooms and lockers and stuff, that we're gonna put walls up and mirrors and stuff so people can go back there and pose, because there's really not a lot of that left in Tampa where people can go and do that. And it's just that, like, people have to use group fitness rooms or yoga rooms or whatever to do their posing.
And they usually get kicked out.
Yeah, we want just a posing room so people can go in there and practice and be able to do their thing. So that's our plan moving forward with the gym. And
then obviously, adding pieces of equipment as we go, which is obviously a big thing. There are pieces that personally I wish we had, that I'm going to make sure we get, like a traditional hack squat. I definitely want one of those, and there's a couple of other things.
But you have a pendulum squat. I mean.
Or we got the pendulum.
Yeah, I mean, belt squat, pendulum squat, vertical leg press. I mean, that's a heaven for leg day.
I'm greedy. That's all it is. I'm just greedy. And then we had, like she said, we had a bunch of events planned. Like, we had a good 5 to 6 weeks of stuff from March, pretty much through all of April. We're planned. People were flying in and blah blah blah. Money was spent, and then everyone's like, "No, that's not happening. Shut it down." So we have to replan everything once we have more certainty. But we're always looking to do things and bring people into the facility and continue building that camaraderie that we have.
Yeah, like do also some things like talk about nutrition, make like events where you talk about nutrition, competition,
Mm-hmm.
like give the people something back, and you're gonna win also clients, And
absolutely.
They're gonna see how much you guys love the sport, and they are not gonna go somewhere else to train.
Absolutely.
Like, I really appreciate like gyms who invite, like you said, invite people to have some meetings, or like you can learn stuff. That's something very unique, The gyms don't care about that.
We had a deadlift seminar. We had a world record female deadlifter that was coming in from Canada, actually, in March, but obviously that didn't happen because of the corona and everything got shut down. We were going to put on posing seminars. We had a gym takeover. We had a whole bunch of stuff planned, but we can all reschedule it.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Are you guys still taking now online clients? I mean, maybe somebody's watching now and is interested.
Yeah, right now I have about 10 online clients across the country and some overseas as well. And he has probably more than that.
Yeah, pretty much most of my client base is online clients. I had a few in-person people that obviously, I lost, for lack of better words, after the gyms were shut down. But most of my clients are online clients. Pretty much all of them were still gung-ho about following their plans, sticking to nutrition as much as possible, getting a few weights and bands just so they can do something, just trying to. So this is another thing I wanted to point out to people. Unless you have access to a whole facility or gym or a home gym, a full gym, you are not going to build new muscle during this time period. So don't let any of these Instagram fitness influencers trick you into thinking that you can do a workout at home with bands and put on new muscle tissue. It's not going to happen. Heavy weights build muscle, period, the end. No one's going to tell me any different. So your job should be to maintain the tissue that you do have by stimulating it, however necessary, through body weight, bands, etc., so that when you do have access to the gyms again, you are in a good position to now move forward. Yeah, I'm off my soapbox. That's that.
I agree. I really like. I can't see any more of those Instagram videos with the bands and shit. Like, I mean, it's a good. Like, I get it. It's good to move, but you can't tell me when you lifted before 5% squat, you are now with body weight squats building any muscle. So that's not
That's
going to
the
happen.
problem.
And I think people should take that time, like you said, to hold the muscle, do more cardio maybe, and come back maybe leaner. You know, the most of the people they rather have a new start when everything. Imagine you didn't do 2 months a leg press, but you did it 10 years before. Now, after that 2 months, your leg's gonna grow again like insane because you have again a new thing. So
Yep.
this as a new chance to restart your body, you know, and don't like even like I see people who want to sell now like home workout stuff, like they
Yep.
want to make money off every situation.
Yeah.
And people who want to watch this now, like you said, they are not gonna build any muscle with any bands. I'm very sure. It's all about to keep your muscles active. That doesn't mean you need to go buy some programs. Google it, go to YouTube. You're going to find a lot of workouts. Do push-ups, do sit-ups, go do cardio, take your kids out, take your dog out, walk. I mean, use the time for stuff that you can't do normally. I always say don't complain, do the best of it. You know, you can't complain, doesn't change anything. And the people need to be a little bit more clever. You know, they buy everything. Like
The people who are pushing their home workouts and, you know, to sell or whatever, they're usually not very knowledgeable about fitness as a whole. Like, one of the things that we have tried to do is try to add to the mental intellectual stimulation that we can from our videos, as opposed to, oh, here's a new way to do a home workout. Here's a towel and a bottle of laundry detergent. Here you go. That's not doing anything for anybody. And there's a million videos of that everywhere. What are people doing to, I look at it as teaching people how to fish. This is a good opportunity to teach people how to fish instead of feeding them the fish. So what can we do to contribute to people that no one else is doing during this time? And I'm a firm believer of increasing your knowledge base. The more you understand what you are doing, the more likely you are to execute, and the more likely you are to do it well. That doesn't mean you need to be, you know, if you're trying to lose weight or get in shape, you need to be an expert. But I think a little bit, at least surface level knowledge is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So we both have tried to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I really agree. People should take that time to do stuff they can't do normally. And we said 90% of the people, even when they go to the gym, they are not having a hypertrophy workout either way. So they are taking the same weight like since 10 years. They do the same routine since 10 years. I'm sometimes thinking maybe the bands make more than they do in the gym. Like I have a couple clients. They look literally better now after 2 weeks doing nothing than before. But they never believed me when I said you need a rest day. You need less of this or less of that. They never believed me. They send me now picture, form check. They look better. We're doing push-ups and pull-ups. I said, how is that possible? I said, because you don't train free. You're not 3 hours at the gym. You are not overfeeding yourself. That's how your body recovers, you know? Eat less. I mean, it is hard, but everybody who is listening that it is a hard time, but don't go from frustration to eat more, you know. Like in our apartment building, I see like how often the Domino's comes, and it's insane. Like, there is food in Publix and Walmart. It's not like we don't have any food. You
Right.
only use the situation as an excuse.
Yes.
When this time is over, you're gonna regret it. And I say that to a lot of athletes. That's why I really like that you guys stay on track. Because now this time gonna show who he's the winner, who has goal in front of him, you know. Like I talked in the last podcast with Julia Furry, and she's one of the craziest beasts in the gym. Like I
Yep.
train with her, she takes like 4 or 5 plates to squat.
Wow.
And she says, I look better. I said, how you do it? She said, I do more cardio. She says, I do stuff that I didn't do before. I go hiking. She says, I use the opportunity to when everything comes back, I'm at least more lean. She says, I can get my muscles back, but then I'm at least leaner than everybody else.
Yep.
She used that as opportunity to get leaner.
Yeah.
And when the gym's open, it takes her maybe 6 weeks. She has the muscle back, but she's lean. So
It's basically like a rebound post-show.
yeah, people should use that, should not give up. And I mean, a lot of I know a lot of amateurs, they gave up now, but see that as opportunity. I mean, August, July, and September, you have so many pro qualifier now. Keep your diet, stay lean, go back to the gym, and the muscles are gonna come back. And
Yep.
you're gonna be the winner because you didn't give up when everybody else took it as excuse.
Exactly. That's why we stayed on track, because we know people are going to be slacking. So this is our opportunity to, like you said, move forward.
I have a question. So I know my wife doesn't compete, but when I compete, it is hard for her.
I was waiting for this question.
I can imagine how hard it is when both of you guys compete. So tell me how it is when both compete.
I mean, when we met, we were both in prep for shows. So like it's not like our personalities changed and we had to get to know a new prep version of the other person. We met while we were in prep. So like we've gotten a little bit better every time. Obviously we still argue, we still get tense and irritated, but every single time we prep together, we get a little bit better at figuring each other out and figuring out different ways that we need to communicate. It's all about learning and growing and, again, communicating. Like if you can talk to your partner and you guys can both hear each other and understand, you can pretty much work through anything. It's the people that don't want to be heard or hear the other person that have issues when they prep.
And I mean, like when the food gets low and the cardio is high, sometimes you just wake up irritated. And there's no rhyme or reason for it. You don't have an explanation for why. You're just mad. So like for me, when I wake up in those states or it happens during the day and I can feel myself just getting just annoyed with things that normally don't bother me, I'll let her know, like, hey, you know, I'm noticing that I'm feeling some type of way. If you know, I'm sorry if I lash out at all. If I do, let me know so I can check myself. So at least she knows, okay, like if you know he seems upset, it has nothing to do with me. Like I already know what's up. So she doesn't think that I'm mad at her or, you know, cause any strife in the relationship or whatever. But like she said, communication is the most important thing. And not just from a prep standpoint, but in general, that should always be your number one priority with the person that you care about, is being able to speak their language as well as your own. Because, you know, we all respond to different things in different ways. So just taking the time to actually learn your partner and not just be with them is the best solution to that.
What would you say? What's the difference by him between prep and off season?
For him?
Yes.
Um,
You can tell, no filter.
no, I mean,
No, go ahead.
he's a lot more laid back. obviously, in the off season, just about everything. Like, I mean, but it's normal. He'll get like more irritated about things easier, but it's to be expected, especially like, just having the certain meals the way they need to be had, like having your supplements the way they need to be had. Like, you have to be more on it when you're on prep. So he'll get more like,
I'm super anal.
He'll get more irritated about things not working out, but I understand that. Like, he wants the prep to go well, so I can't be mad at him for like sometimes he'll get kind of weird about his food. Like, if he thinks I took the last of something, when he's in prep, it's like, what did you do? When he's out of prep, he's like, okay, whatever. But when it's where did my rice go? I'm like, it's in the fridge. It's right there. He's like, oh, okay.
Nah, no, but she's also leaving out the times when she'll take like the last of the beef or the shrimp or whatever, and then I go to make it and it's not there, and she forgot to tell me that it was out, so now I have to go to the store and get it. And like, that doesn't sound like a big deal, but I hate the grocery store. I hate it with a passion. Everything about it I completely dislike, because people stare at me all the time, and then they ask dumb questions. They try to like stare. They're like creep into my like shopping cart when I'm not looking to see what I have, and like, it's really annoying. I hate it. I can't stand it. So like, any excuse that I can find to not go, I'm okay with that. But no, I would that was pretty accurate. That was pretty accurate.
What's the weirdest thing that people ask at the grocery store?
Man,
like, I know I have even, I'm not that big like you, but even to me, people say weirdest shit. Like,
I mean, you're a pretty big dude, and plus you're tall on top of that. So like, you really stand out. At least I'm short, so like I can wear baggy clothes and just hide under the radar sometimes, which is what I do now. Man, I've gotten your standard bro questions like, how much do you bench, or what protein do you take? And then I've had women in the past in grocery stores like literally just walk up to me and just start touching me. Like, they don't know who I am. They don't even say hi. They're like, oh my God, you're so big. And then just start groping me. I'm like, dude, get off me. Like, what are you doing? Like, so I've had the whole range of different people. And then, so what I do is I just try to look as angry as possible when I walk to the store, so people don't want to talk to me.
yeah.
Until I get to the cashier, then I'm nice. But before that,
people think always I'm a wrestler. Like, to 90%, they ask me if I'm a famous wrestler.
Yeah.
It's because you're tall, and most of the guys are tall.
And I have an accent. They really ask me, like, are you a famous wrestler? I said, no, I'm not.
No, you should say yes, and then walk.
When I'm annoyed, I say yes. Like, when I'm annoyed, I give really the worst answers. Like, my wife apologizes sometimes, but when I'm on prep, I don't want to. That's my correct. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Nah.
I'm not aggressive. I'm the opposite. I'm getting quiet. Like, I even don't want to talk to my wife, and she's like then getting like angry. Like, why you don't talk to me? I don't want to talk. Like, I feel like shit.
She gets like that sometimes, where like,
that's more me. I just won't. I'll have people like in
no. We're like if I'm not talking, you may think that there's something wrong.
Oh,
and
yeah, because you always talk. You're like the thing that won't shut up most of the time. You are literally the most talkative person I've ever met in my whole life. So when you don't talk, I'm like, are you okay?
Nothing's wrong. Okay, now I can ask, what is the difference by her prep and off season? Now you can pay back.
Oh my God! No, I'm just kidding. First of all, let me start here. This one can put away food like nobody I've ever seen in my entire life, man or woman. I would easily put her up against anybody in any eating challenge, and she'll win.
She'll
100%.
I'm doing food challenges regularly. I can eat like insane.
She'll beat you. She'll beat you in every one. I've tried to win, like really tried. I can't do it. I accept it. I bow down to you. You are better. But in the off season, she can put away some food. Now, in prep, Um, she gets more prep goggle than I do. And I would say the biggest difference between off season and prep is when she's in prep, she needs a little bit more verbal validation from me about how she is progressing, how she looks. Now, that being said, we do, I do coach her. It's more like a co-coaching type of thing. We work together. We work off each other. I have my own coach that I work with, but we work together on her prep. So I would say we are both her coach. But even before that arrangement came to be, she would just need more verbal validation. And sometimes, especially if I'm in prep at the same time, that can annoy me because I don't need it. And like sometimes I just don't want to be bothered. I just don't want to talk about it. Like, okay, like great. I'm glad you have new lines in your legs. Like, leave me alone. That I would say that's the biggest difference.
In my off season, I don't care.
And sometimes she turns the doesn't care up way too high, and sometimes she needs to actually care a little bit. Yeah, and that's another thing.
Heavy weight. So when you lift heavy weight, you can eat. I mean, I see her videos. She lifts really heavy weights.
Oh, well, that was actually one of the main things that attracted me to her. So, like, our first, like, official date, ironically enough, was a leg day. She wanted to do legs with me. And I still think that it was a test. She wanted to see if, like, I was really about this life and who I said I was and that I wasn't a little bitch. So we trained legs together. And she trains her ass off. It's not even just that she's strong. She is intense and strong, which is unbelievable. And the thing that impressed me the most, and I tell everybody that asks me the story, is when we were doing legs, we went to go do walking lunges, and she just put 225 on her back and just started doing walking lunges with it. Yeah. And I was like, I started looking around like, is anybody else watching this? I'm like, am I the only one that sees this and is impressed? Like, that was pretty much like what cemented it for me in terms of like, okay, I need to pursue something with this chick. I need to see what's going on here because she's really about this life.
I think that's why you lift so heavy. When she takes 4 plates, you need to take at least 8 plates.
Exactly. Otherwise, no one cares about what I can lift. She was looking for.
So how much do you then take to do lunges? 4 plates or what?
Oh man, I don't know. I haven't done
the same weight.
That in a while.
I'm sure you took the same weight. Like 225 is heavy for lunges.
No, that particular day, I think I did 315. Well, one, I didn't have a choice, and two, I mean, I already knew I could do it. So I'm like, okay, what can I pick that's impressive? And at least I know that if I fuck up, I won't get hurt. All right. But no, she trains her butt off, and off season or in prep. And she's always focused, but when she's in prep, there's a switch that goes off, and she becomes even more just kind of tunnel vision and in tune with what's going on with the process. And she's just so driven. She's so driven and just works her ass off, and it's really impressive to see.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have that sometimes too? When I'm in prep and close to a show, my mind is literally 24 hours by that, Like it's like a calculator. When is my next meal? What do I do tomorrow?
Yeah.
Plan. Like even I'm watching sometimes TV, and my wife asked me, do you have something in your mind? I said, yeah, I was thinking about this. She said, but that's tomorrow. I said, but it's still in my mind. You can't like have, your mind is always full of something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking about tomorrow's workout. Yeah. and how I'm going to structure it. It is what it is. This is what we do,
That's funny. So now for people who watch from outside, do you think it is easier to be when both compete or only one person competes? I mean, it looks like it works for you guys because you understand what the other person goes through.
For us, it works, but I don't think that that's true across the board for everyone. Like, I've seen some couples where I really don't think that they should prep together at all, ever. But like for us, it works really well.
Now, here's a question, just for clarity with your question. Are you talking about, does your question only apply to couples where both of them do compete and they are picking and choosing when one competes and the other competes? Or are you asking it from a place of like, if one person is a competitor and the other person does not compete at all? Because, you know, I've been in both scenarios. I think both have been in both scenarios.
No, like when both are competitors, and should
Got
they choose the shows different dates? Or, I mean, I'm honest, I can't imagine when my wife would compete, at some point we would kill each other, I would say. Because we are
like,
so opposites of each other. Like my wife gets very emotional and I'm getting not emotional. So like I'm the coolest person in the world and she gets emotional. So it wouldn't work. What do you think?
So I agree with her answer in the sense of it all depends on the people and their ability to really effectively communicate, especially when your mind gets to that foggy state of prep. Are you still able to keep your focus on what needs to be done for the competition and still keep your relationship a priority? If you are unable to, I don't want to say that if you're unable to make your relationship a priority, but if you are unable to maintain that careful nature that you do when your food is high, as when your food is low, then you should not prep at the same time at all. If you can still maintain effective communication when shit hits the fan, so to speak, then nothing should change. Really, nothing should be a problem. And if anything, it would be a better scenario in that case for both people to be prepping for the same show, or at least around the same time, because you guys can feed off of each other. You both are working towards the same thing. You're eating the same foods. You're probably training at the same time.
And then you don't have somebody like bringing home fucking pizza or burgers while you're sitting eating like a cucumber and they're stuffing their face in front of you.
Yeah.
Because I understand like if he gets a refeed meal or something, I'm not gonna be mad at him because it's part of his diet. But like
sometimes she'll get it for me.
Yeah, but like if I was competing and he wasn't competing and I'm like starving and he's bringing home junk food to eat in front of me, then I would get a little annoyed, you know, and I could see how that would make somebody want to fight their partner because it would piss me off. I mean, right now, like I know that it's for a reason, but if he was just eating junk in front of me, like,
what advice? But I know what she means. Like when you are only in prep and she would eat and she is not in prep, she wouldn't eat in front of you junk food because
no, like last year he was in prep when
she can go eat in a restaurant or in wherever, you know.
The only time that I've ever gotten okay, so like she brings up when I was still in prep and she was already in off season.
That's what I wanted to ask. That's on my list. How was that?
No, but listen. So the only time I got mad was I had bought.
Oh my god!
I had bought a jar of Nuts and More cookie dough flavored peanut butter. All right, and I had it in the fridge, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be like my little treat once the show prep is over. So this is good. I like my peanut butter refrigerator. So I stuck it in the fridge, and I'm like, oh man, in like 2 weeks I'm gonna demolish this thing. And I went to go make my meals as I was getting ready for work. I had an actual job at the time and working for somebody. And I just so happened while I was getting my food together, notice that my peanut butter wasn't there anymore. And I'm like, bro. And I started looking through the cabinets and blah 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 blah. And then I go to the bed. She's still asleep, so I go to the room and I'm like, hey, what happened to my peanut butter? She was like, I don't know. I think it's in the cabinet. Don't worry. I'll get it and put it back in the fridge for you later. I'm like, okay. She had woken up at 3 a.m. and ate my jar of peanut butter, the whole jar, all 3,000 calories.
I got you enough.
of my
You could have eaten it anyway. You couldn't eat
It was mine.
And that's what I mean. He gets weird about food. Like,
it was
because I replaced it before he even could eat it. But he was like, oh, it's mine. I bought it, and then I bought you another one.
I wouldn't have been as mad. I still would have been annoyed, but I wouldn't have been as mad about it if she didn't lie to me. She was like, oh, I don't know. It might be in the cabinet. The freaking jar, the empty jar was in the trash can. If I had just opened the trash can, I would have seen it. But I didn't because I was hungry. So I just I got to get ready for work. I got to go. Bye. And then she scrambled for hours while I was gone doing cardio. She was scrambling, trying to find a place that was open that had the peanut butter so she could put it back before I got home. It's the only time I've gotten mad. Other than that, it's been perfectly fine. She would go out for meals. She would bring food home. I didn't care. When I'm focused, I'm focused. There's literally nothing that could derail me or piss me off. Now, if she did something maliciously, brought cheeseburgers or pizza home and was like, I get to eat this and you can't. That would piss me off. Flaunting. But dude, you're in off season. If I was in off season, I'd be eating pizza. Go ahead. It's fine. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I get it. A couple weeks before contest, you have a couple of things at home that you're excited. I understand why he was mad. So I'm the same person. I buy a couple of my favorite things. They need to be at home, even when I can eat it.
The thing is, I usually don't do that, but I really like this peanut butter, and I really like it refrigerated, and it has to sit in the fridge for a certain amount of time so that I know it's good. So, I had it prepared. Otherwise, I would have just bought it when the show prep was over.
I bought it.
It was mine. Should have bought your own when you bought mine.
Did I ate that?
Yeah, she ate her jar, too. Jesus Christ.
But I think it has something to do with woman and man. I'm the same. Last year I was in prep, and when she craved something, she feels bad to eat next to me. And I said, I really don't care. When I'm in my zone, I really don't care when somebody eats something next to me. But she's right now in a hardcore diet, and I feel it hurts her when I eat stuff next to her. I feel bad, because I know how shitty it is. But when it never disturbs me. You could literally eat my favorite food next to me. I wouldn't care.
No, because you're focused on the goal.
And you're doing you're choosing to give up the food. It's not like you're not allowed to have it
either.
What did she say?
It doesn't bother her either.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
No, it's she's not she don't say anything, but I see that she has them cravings, and I feel bad, I feel it would be better when I don't eat it next to her,
I feel if she was it all depends. It would all depend on where she was in prep. If she was really close to a show, less than 4 weeks out, I probably wouldn't eat. And I was in off season, I probably wouldn't eat around her. If I wanted something, I'd probably get it and eat it in the car or something, just so she doesn't see it happen.
That's what I mean. From respect, you don't know that person craves. I mean, it's gonna smell at home. And
right, exactly. So even if I snuck and did it without her seeing it, she's gonna smell it at some point. She's gonna know. So, even that smell can sometimes kind of mess with you a little bit.
Right now, I'm again in off season, and she's still on diet, and I can't go out eat. So I cook sometimes at home, and I ask 10 times, "Are you really okay?" She say, "Yeah, eat." But the house smells so tasty. I mean, I get it. It's hard.
Honestly, I think that she would actually make, you say that, I think she would actually make the food for me. Just because she's that type. Plus, she likes to cook too, as much as I do. So, and she's a people pleaser. So I feel like she would actually even make the food that I want.
Well, I need to be honest too. She say to me also, no, get the Ben and chairs. Or I say, are you sure? She said, yeah, get your food. I want to see that you eat. She would never say don't eat, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's always your personal decision. if you are dieting or prepping.
Yep.
And I think we all need to be a little bit professional and don't give that feeling like when you are in a bad mood, that's nobody else's fault.
Correct.
Of course, when people are giving you like this most stupid questions, then
Yeah.
like for me, I told that Nicholas last time, for me is the worst when I'm like 2 weeks out and eat a salad and somebody comes and says, that salad looks so tasty.
Oh, I just want to,
Like, I want to punch them in his face. Like, it doesn't matter who.
like, dude, I could rip your throat out right now. Get away from me.
Yeah.
Like when you're eating, oh my God, that smells so good, and putting their face in your food. I'm like, can you not? Please don't do that.
I even don't know, like, how can they do that? Like, you literally ate a cheeseburger, you are coming and you want my salad. Like, I'm getting so angry. Like, I don't think
that does.
when I think about it, I'm getting angry. Or they say, oh, you eat so much food. Bro, it is salad and 6 ounces of chicken. But it looks so tasty. Oh my.
Okay, so make yourself 6 meals of ground turkey and salad. Oh, yeah, and then their attitude changes, and then they go back and get the cheeseburger.
Yeah. So I mean, what kind of advice can you guys give to relationship where a person competes and the other one doesn't? Like that's always something. Maybe people are watching that and struggling with that. Like, what can help? Like when somebody's competing and the other person doesn't.
Honestly, like we said before, communicate. So everyone's a little bit different. If your partner is competing and you're not, say, what would you like from me? How can I best support you right now? Don't just do whatever you think is a good idea.
Right, don't just throw caution.
Because some people like me, like I like him to talk to me a lot. I like him to reassure me. I like him to almost like crowd me a little bit when I'm prepping, but he's the other way. And I know that. So I'm not gonna like be all over him when it would just annoy him. But that's what I want, and he knows to be that way with me. But you have to communicate and find out what the other person wants. You can't just do your own thing and then get mad when they don't receive it well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really it. If you're able to communicate, it doesn't really matter what problems occur. You'll be able to solve your way through it. Man, that being said, you know, I can, even though we do choose to do this, we do choose to do the low carb diets and, you know, all that stuff. Sometimes you have moments where you just kind of lose control, and from a sense of, you know, you may be irritated or upset and get into an argument with your spouse, not meaning to, but you literally just could not control it. Being able to be honest with yourself that if that does happen, you were wrong, and then being able to, again, come back to communication, just addressing those things.
And if you're on the receiving end, don't escalate it. Like, ask yourself, is this worth losing my relationship for? Mm-hmm. Is somebody putting the rice in the wrong spot in the cupboard worth breaking up? No? Why do I? Then just let it go. If they want to be mad, let them be mad. Talk about it later on, but just step back. It's not a big deal. It's okay.
I have a really big OCD, so I have a really big OCD. The fridge needs to look exactly how I want it.
Oh, no.
You can't do anything in the fridge. Like, everything
I feel that.
is spot. Like, I'm that person. Like, why is that meal now here? Like, I'm really getting angry.
I feel that. I keep like my beef in one spot. I keep the fish in one spot. The rice is over here. Egg whites are over there in the corner. Like, okay, because, you know, when you're hungry and you're not thinking straight, you just automatically, like, you have a picture in your head of where everything is. So when you go to reach for it without thinking about it and it's not there,
I think it's hard to understand for other people, but I'm really like, my wife asks me always, how can you be so OCD by stuff like that? And by other stuff, you really don't care. I said, I don't know. But like when I would know in the fridge is something wrong or the kitchen is dirty or my meals are not prepped, I would not watch 5 minutes TV. I can't.
Yeah.
I need to do that and then I have my peace. Like, when my meals are not ready, it doesn't matter off season or prep, I would not sit and relax. I can't.
And I mean, a bodybuilder's best friend is routine. So part of, as crazy as it may sound, part of the routine is when you wake up in the morning to make your meals, you expect the beef to be in the middle shelf of the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you go and it's not there, now you have to deviate from your routine to now locate something that should have been in a particular spot. So it's not, it sounds dumb, like, oh, well, just look for it. Like, no, like we have a specific way that we do things. We probably do it the exact same way every single day. Why do we have to deviate from that in any way?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy you understand. The most people don't. Like,
no. She's a little less like that. Like, I hate when my stuff is moved. I hate it. And actually, I'm like that almost all the time.
But you're way worse in prep.
I'm way worse in prep.
When you're in off season, you'll be like, oh, was that moved? All right, whatever. But when he's in prep, it's like the detective game. Like, who did this? Where did it go? What happened? It's just me and you living here, so had to be one of us.
Don't touch my shit. Oh, that's funny.
do you guys have other OCDs that are funny?
I don't think so. No. I like my clothes folded a certain way.
Do you have OCD with the plates in the gym? Like my training partner can't lift a weight when it's not the same plate on each side.
Oh, he's like,
yes, me, 110%. Like, they don't all have to be the same plate, but like if I have 3 different plates on one side, they have to be on in the same order on both sides, or I'm not touching it. No, we need to fix this. I need symmetry at all times.
I even sometimes, like, instead of I put sometimes on one side 2 10s, 1 5, and on the other side 25s. And he's like, how can you do that? I said, is this end of the day 20?
Oh, that would piss me off. Like, I can't. I wouldn't be able to do it. I can't.
That's funny. Funny question. First for you. Would you rather be Mrs. Olympia in bikini or never win your pro card? Be a good athlete.
Ow. That's a good.
I don't like that question.
That's a good question. I like that question. I want to hear this answer. Would you rather be Miss Bikini Olympia or never get your pro card ever?
I mean, if I became Miss Bikini Olympia, I could class up then go do.
Oh, come on. That's answer the question.
I don't know. I have a lot of respect for my friends that compete bikini, but it's not for me. So
nothing respectful. Like, I don't think your friend's gonna be angry. It's only like something personal, you know.
Yeah, I would probably just stick with competing women's physique at the NPC level.
Yeah, because I mean, I have
because I would have to lose muscle to do bikini now, and I don't want to do that.
I know, but it would be possible. That's why I'm asking. Like,
no, I don't want to do that.
2 years.
No, that's what they told me when I got my last figure show. They said, you can either lose muscle and compete in figure, or you can stay the way you are and do women's physique. And that was like easy. I want to do women's physique then.
She went on stage and looked like a cheat code. She was so much bigger than every other chick.
I look stupid.
And
I look dumb.
Now, okay, that being said, she did look like a women's physique competitor. She was a women's physique competitor through and through, period, the end. But, in my opinion, she looked more like a pro figure competitor than the girl that beat her. The girl that beat her would not have, and this is, full respect, but at the end of the day, it's bodybuilding. This is exactly what we do. You go on stage to be critiqued. That girl would not have done anything at the national level with the physique that she had. She may have turned, and she could have turned pro in figure with the physique that she had back then. And that's just my opinion. But at the level that she was at with who she was being judged against, everyone else looked a certain way. And then there she was with muscle on muscle, just, you know, fee, fi, fo, fumming over everybody. And they gave her, they said, you're too good. Literally, the judges told her, you were too muscular, you were too in shape, you're too good. So we gave you last place.
But I understand that at some point, you know, like I remember when I won the nationals in men's physique 2014, and the judges came to me and they said, look, when you gain even 1 more pound, you're going to win no other shows. They said you were so close to be the last, but we decided you looked the best, we gave you the first place. So I understand, like that's the judge want to give you only a heads up and say, look, you are not in that class. That would be like when you would go men's physique. There is no weight class. You could go men's physique. There is no weight class.
Well, I would have agreed with what you like if they had done with her what they did with you. That would have made way more sense. Like, okay, you were the best athlete on the stage, so we gave you the win, but you need to class up to women's physique, or if you show up on stage like this again, we're not going to reward you for it because this is not what we're looking for in figure, but we're rewarding you because you came in the best shape. Okay, I can understand that. That makes perfect sense to me. But to penalize her
you
need to see it on that way. Like, no. I wasn't that much bigger than other people, but she was way bigger than everybody else. So she was not in the criteria from that category. That's like when a physique woman would go to do bikini. You would say, okay, she looks the best, but that's not the category.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And I'm happier doing women's physique anyway. So
absolutely.
I'm glad it happened the way it did.
I'm happier she's doing women's physique. No, because of the way she trains. She would not be able to train the way she likes to train if she had stayed in figure. She would have had to dial it back, do a lot more body weight stuff. You would have been doing quarantine workouts for the last 2 years to do figure.
Funny is, the most people don't know, I was by Patrick Tour when I won my first national show. And 4 weeks before, I met him for a form check, and he said, why are you not doing classic bodybuilding? In that time they didn't have classic physique, but we have, IFBB had classic bodybuilding in Europe.
Right, yes.
And I said to him, I don't know, I want to win, and I don't know if I can win in classic bodybuilding. So he let me do men's physique. But he already 2014 wanted that I do classic bodybuilding. Because he saw I trained my legs like everybody else and not like a man's physique.
Yep. You just couldn't see it at the time. Glad you do now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honest. I wanted to win. At some point, sometimes winning is in your life more important than, like, I ask myself sometimes, do I want to win with, like, what's more important, to have your best shape on stage or winning? I would say now my best shape. But in that time, I was thinking winning is everything.
Right. And to me, it's not. Just because what's the point of winning if you go to look in the mirror and you are not 100% happy with what you see, right?
Well, Nicholas opened my eyes. Now, you won with not 100%. That means with 100%, nobody could even touch you.
That's another way to look at it.
Yeah, he opened my eyes in that way. Like, I was always thinking, when I win, I want to be happy how I look. But when you're not 100% and you win shows, that means only then bring 100% and you're unbeatable.
Right. I agree with that. But the reason why I say that being happy with how you look is more important is bodybuilding doesn't last forever. Yeah. One day we're all going to not be able to compete anymore. What you having to look in the mirror every morning, that will last forever, or as long as we are on this beautiful green earth, that lasts forever.
I mean, when I'm honest, I tell my wife all the time, I don't want to look like Dexter with 50. With 50, I want to be chubby and enjoy the life. So, like, I don't want to count every macro when I'm 50. Like, to look good is one thing, but at some point you need to enjoy the life. I'm gonna lift always my whole life. But at
Absolutely.
some point, I don't want to think about food, Like I had a lot of food disorder in my whole career, and I don't want to have that with 50, I don't want to, when my son or somebody asks me, hey, let's go eat. Oh, I don't know, today is not my cheat day. Like, what the fuck are 50? Whatever you want. I see
Well, I
some
mean,
like
extras, but
I see sometimes those old people at the gym. I have respect of that, like with 65, like in shape, shredded. But then I ask myself, you're 65. Why are you not a little bit taking it easier and enjoy also other things in the world? It's not always about to look good.
no, but like,
I think you can have a balance where you still
right.
look like you work out and look healthy, but you don't need to be shredded or peeled or anything like that. Like you can find somewhere in between where you're eating healthy most of the time, because I do enjoy eating healthy. I don't want to eat fucking candies and cakes every day because I won't feel good. And I'm sure when I'm in my 50s and 60s, I'll still want to feel good, but I don't need to be peeled either.
Right.
No, that's correct. But when somebody asks you to go out for dinner, you don't want to go, oh no, I can't eat that, or go order a salad,
I mean, you should be able to go out to eat without eating like an asshole. Like you should be able to go out to eat and have an entree. You don't have to have dessert every time you go out. You don't have to eat 8 appetizers every time you go out. You can go out and have a meal with people and enjoy it and eat good food and not overdo it. Like there's an in-between that most people fail to recognize now, I think.
And let me just clarify something that I said earlier. So like when I talked about being happy about how you look, so that, as you brought up the aging thing. Mm-hmm. As you get older, what defines happy with how you look is going to change.
Yeah.
So, one, most of us will not be blessed enough to look like Dexter at 50 years old. It just won't happen. So knowing that within the parameters of what you can control, what does happy mean? Happy for me right now at almost 32 years old is not going to be the same when I'm 50 or 60 years old. I'm still going to want to be in shape. I'm still going to want to look good. I don't want to walk around with a gut, but I'm not going to go out of my way to still try and look like Mr. Olympia at 50 years old either. So, what does happy mean to you? Being honest with yourself, and then, being okay with that and pursuing it. That's what I believe to be the most important thing in this whole process. And then when it comes to competing, being happy, does a division that you compete in reflect not only your genetic potential, but also does it reflect the body that you want to have at this current stage? Does it reflect what your happy is, right? So like, is competing in men's physique your happy place? Or is competing in classic bodybuilding your happy place? Or is in open bodybuilding, is that your happy body that you want? So just making sure that you're picking a division that reflects your vision of what you will be happy with. And then as you age and you move into different chapters of your life, you reassess what happy is, and then you pursue that. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how I see it. That's wanted to clarify that.
That was a good.
Thank you.
Alice. I wanted to ask you something. Last year, you didn't place well at the Tampa Pro, and but a year before, you did second place. And like, how was that? Like, I mean, I'm sure I even expected you way higher, because I knew last year you did second place. How was it for you? What do you think what went wrong, and why did you not even like place close to that?
So I want to preface this explanation with, I'm strictly speaking facts. There is no emotion involved. There's no disrespect involved to anybody. I'm just telling as it happened. So one big difference between 2018 and 2019 was, at 3 weeks out, I was ready. I was stage ready. One minor peak week, and I was ready to go, stage time. I was working with Matt and Jansen, and he felt like we needed to pull down even further. You know, when you have a coach, you go all in 100%, and you do exactly what they say when they tell you to do it, because that's what you're paying them for. So we kept coming down. I do believe, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. Looking back, there was a point, a very distinct point, where there was diminishing return on pulling back. There was a point where we went past my best look and it got worse. In the sense of, did I get a little bit leaner? Yes. But my muscle completely lost the pop that it had at 3 weeks out. It like, things just didn't jump out at you the same way, and I wasn't as vascular, blah, blah, blah. And then going into the Chicago and the Tampa, which were the 2 shows I did, the diuretics were overdone. So it got to a point where I was unable to come back. My physique was unable to come back no matter what we ate. So we had sucked down so much that my body just kind of gave up and was like, all right, like, I'm cool right here. And the biggest, so again, my muscle overall just didn't have that pop, but the thing that took the worst hit was my back. So like, I turn around and I go to do my rear double and my rear lat spread, and I can't feel anything at all. I cannot feel the muscle expanding. I can't feel it contracting. Nothing. I felt nothing. And when I look back at the videos that were taken, it was obvious in how I was posing. Like, the back that I had at Chicago would not have even placed in an amateur show. It was complete trash. So just, there was that. And then, like, I'm thinking about this prep now versus those 2. I'm a lot more meticulous about my training at the different stages of prep than I was then. Then it was, I'm going to go balls to the wall. I'm going to continue to deadlift as heavy as possible. I'm going to continue to rack pull as heavy as possible for the same reps that I was doing. And I'm going to get after it, because that's the way you're going to keep the muscle. And I do believe it got to a point where the nutrients I was taking in to be able to recover was not able to even come close to meeting what they needed to be for me to actually recover and retain muscle tissue. So I do believe that by taking that approach and at least not monitoring the volume that I was putting out, that my muscle also suffered as a result. So I've taken a much more meticulous approach to my training now. I monitor my exercise selection. I monitor what I choose to do for movements in relation to what I did the day before and what I'm doing the day after. I pay way more attention to it now, and I pay way more attention to my ability to recover as a result of my training. And I keep a logbook now that I never did before. I take notes after every session about what the performance was like, how I felt, what my energy levels were like, and just, you know, my opinion on my performance, so that when I send updates to my coach, I can relay that information to him so that he can make the right decisions diet-wise, and that I have that information so that I can make the right decisions in my exercise selection. So in short, we sucked down way too much last year, and I ended up not having the pop to the muscle that I needed to compete with the guys who were outweighing me by 15, 20 pounds. You know, because these guys everyone that beat me was weighing in at 211, 211 and a half, 212 on the dot, and then carving up and getting on stage at like 215, 216. And then there I am on stage at 194 when I was ready at 201.
Yeah, and I think your physique looks big. You're gonna win shows like when you have the pop, you know, because your X frame is unique, you know, and when those muscles are not popping, you're gonna look small, like you said, next to other
Yes.
people. But like
Yes.
when your waist is small, your X frame is so big, it doesn't matter that they have 20 pounds more.
Correct.
When your muscles are not full, when you have too much diuretics and not even can carb up, that's now I get why, you know, because we were watching it live and you looked really flat.
Yes, I was it was
Not
it
even
was
flat and not like it didn't even look shredded flat. Like sometimes people, classic bodybuilder, they look flat, but they are really shredded flat. I don't know
right.
how they do that, you know. I prefer that towards classic physique because I'm getting very fast carb. Like my body doesn't need a lot of carbs. Like with 300-400 gram carbs, I'm looking already full.
Hmm.
So that's why I think you even didn't look like grainy. You know, I think like you
No,
said.
no. You're absolutely right. So I really like the approach that we're taking. I really like the approach that we're taking this year. Um, I am working with somebody else, and I very much like how this prep is going, and um,
I'm
I like
glad.
the look. I like the way I feel. I feel healthy. That's a big thing too. I don't. I feel crappy from the sense of having low food and low energy, all that stuff. But I still feel like I can function like a normal human being. Last prep, we moved to where we're at now, and I was putting together our bed frame, and I would literally put two corners of the bed frame together and have to lay down and catch my breath and rest because I literally had nothing left. I had nothing to give. So what should have been a 5 to 10 minute project took me like an hour and a half because I had to keep laying down every time I put a screw in. So that's one big thing. I feel better.
Yeah, I mean, you are really working hard. Both of you guys really working hard. And I'm a
Thank you.
believer, you don't need to work that crazy amounts when you're like 2 years out. Like,
No.
I'm a believer, I see sometimes people 2 days out, they're still doing deadlifts and shit. And like I said, why? You're 2 days out, you should be ready already and let your body rest.
Yes.
Then you look also like, I saw two friends of me are also by Matt Chance, and one of them is like a huge guy. He's like 6'5", and he was ready also 3-4 weeks before. They couldn't carb him up. He ate like 15,000 calories because he was literally working out till his last competition day. You know.
Right. Right. No, we're definitely being smarter. I'm being smarter about my rest and recovery, which is a big thing. So I'm really excited for what the rest of this prep is going to bring. Again, barring any changes to the schedule.
Do you guys plan any merchandise or other business stuff? I think you guys like have a nice look. And I see also like anime stuff. You like that kind of stuff. Why are you not doing like some merchandise? Bodybuilding is a short career, so you need to do really the best of it and like market yourself a little bit more.
Um, the biggest thing that we're focused on is continuing to build the gym and making sure that the gym is profiting at a comfortable level so that we can then reroute some of that money into some of the other things that we want to do. We don't want to just start pouring money out there too much and then be unable to take care of what is already in our possession. So I think that's the biggest thing. So once we are able to grow the gym enough to where I don't want to say that it runs itself, but we're able to hire more employees. We don't have to physically be there as much. That will open up more time and ultimately more money for us to be able to expand our empire and our brand, if you will, into other things like merchandising and stuff.
Yeah, because I think like you guys together make something unique. I would market that too, and not only individual. That she does her stuff and you do something together.
Mm-hmm.
Because that doesn't exist often. You guys look unique. Everybody has something unique on him, and you guys both compete. I would do really something like even. Doesn't need to be first at all money wise. You can do
Right.
videos, you can start with pictures like that people see something new. there is how many athletes, pro athletes exist? So many. So you
Yep.
need to be something unique that like people know. Oh, that's that guy. That's this couple. You know.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And
We'll
that,
look into it.
we'll look into it. No, we used to do stuff like how you were asking us the questions about our relationship and all of that. We did have like a little series going where we kind of talked about things, you know, bodybuilding and fitness related, but specifically, you know, for us and how we deal with certain issues and situations and whatever. So that's definitely something that we could bring back. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I agree.
Yeah, and I really like also the anime style. You know, you guys both would look really insane in anime. You know, you with your X frame, you with your style, with your hair, and your as a figure. It would be funny.
Yeah, we can do something.
We'll see. We'll see what we can put together. I'm not too creative minded. I feel like I would need to get somebody to do that. But when the time, can you draw? All right. So one day we will.
So for my side, that would be all. Do you guys have something you want to say to your fans, or people are interested in coaching, or something you want to say to the situation, to the people?
You first.
I thought I talked too much. What
Yeah.
happened? What happened to that?
I'm gonna let you talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So first thing. I just want people to understand that, you know, the current situation we're in, it is crappy, but, you know, you do need to be taking this seriously. Be smart. Practice everything the CDC is telling you. For all those people who are mass gathering at home gyms and like have 20 people in there, y'all need to stop because you're putting yourselves and other people at risk. Y'all need to stop doing that stuff. So that's that.
That's what you need to say. Now say what you want to say.
So now that I got that out of the way, I do want to thank everybody who has continued to support us and support the gym. All the clients that have stuck by us when, you know, everybody's having a hard time financially. The members who have volunteered of their own volition to still pay their membership, even though the gym isn't open, to help us out, knowing that we still have bills to pay. We greatly appreciate all the people who have done those things, as well as made sure to reach out to us, stay in touch, and make sure that we're okay and just genuinely care about us. That's why we started the gym in the first place. That's why we entered into a career to service other people. And to have that reciprocated now where everybody is in need is really something truly special. And I can't thank everyone enough. Really, really hoping and excited for the competition season to get rolling again, because we all need that. We need the stage again. We need the stage again. You know, I'm a huge fan. I'm a fan before I'm a competitor. So I follow the sport right now as a fan before I kind of get into the competitor mindset. And just, you know, you're wearing the fam shirt where we can't wait to reopen again and just have everybody back in the gym doing what they love in our facility. So just want to thank everybody for the support.
You done?
Yep, I'm done.
Copy paste.
No, I just want to say that even with everything going on, all the ups and downs and the current situation at hand, I still find things to be grateful for every day. And that's really all I want to say.
Be grateful, because there are people that are going through worse situations, and you don't even have to think about it that way. Just look at what you have and just say, thank you. I'm happy with what's around me.
Don't compare yourself to other people. The hardest life you're ever going to live is your own. You're not going to understand what other people are going through, just like they won't understand what you're going through. But I think if we all look, we can find something to be grateful for. And if we focus on the good more than we focus on the bad, that's all we'll be able to see. But you're going to see what you focus on. So if you focus on negative all the time, that's all you'll see. But if you find a few good things, even if it's one or two good things to focus on, that's going to be where your mind is, and that's going to be where you're moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys are also a big motivation. I mean, you guys show both can compete, support each other. And for me, it's a big motivation. I like to watch your videos and go and smash my own personal bests. Like, I'm a person, when I'm under the hack squat, I have literally videos of other people who do it. And that pushed me more. You're one of those people. Like,
Thank you.
man, this guy he did this. I need to do at least this. That's always the motivation for me because I love to lift, when I'm honest. That's
Absolutely.
me, lifting is the first.
Yes, sir.
Before I let you go, do you have any cheat meals in the next couple weeks? Because I don't let that sit on me, because I need the food challenge now, because you said she's gonna eat more than I do.
Oh, I can't right now.
Well, yeah, no. We if she gets a cheat meal, first of all, I'm the one that's going to be determining if she gets a cheat meal. It won't be no damn food challenge. You have to wait till off season for that.
In off season, we'll do one.
Okay.
But 110%, you are not beaten.
I tell now this. When we have more than 50 likes under the video, we are going to do a food challenge video.
Cool.
All right.
I have one more plug. This is our dog, Bubba, and he's awesome. Say hi, Bubba's. Oh.
I put our dog in her kennel because last time I was filming, she started drinking like 10 minutes, and you heard in the background like literally 10 minutes. And I said today, okay, I'm gonna put her in the kennel.
That's him. He starts drinking water, and he'll drink water until he literally cannot suck up oxygen anymore. Yeah. And he'll still continue to drink. He won't stop to breathe at all. Like, we have to give him water. We have to stop.
In Florida.
But he's a bigger dog. He's very furry, so he gets hot very easily.
Our dog is small, so.
Oh no, he's a big guy.
10 pounds.
But that's it. That was the last plug.
So thank you for taking time. For people who are listening outside, when you guys like content like that, give me a subscription to the channel. I put also the information from those huge guys, and also coaching requests, and also like the video when you want to see a food challenge. I don't do food challenges, and I hope the competition is gonna happen. I want to see you compete. You need your revenge for the last year.
Yes.
So
yes.
I wish you guys both good luck in the prep. Stay strong. And when the gym is open, I'm guaranteed coming for a leg day.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for taking the time to have us on and thinking of us. Really appreciate it.
Have a great evening, guys.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.